Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1. We are here tonight for some Category 1 racing action around the Palisades Village.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my...
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Sector 1 for Round 2 of Season 12. This is our Legacy Race Series, and it's based on tuned Group 4 cars that has brought us so much action and fun over the Sector 1 history. So tonight, we're at Trial Mountain in Nevada with our Category 1A and 1B drivers, and they're going to be throwing down their best in a sprint race format. My name is Sabanka from Dadson Racing, and joining me in comms tonight as RD for both races is Carbon Boy from APR Motorsport. How are you tonight, Carbon?
I am doing very well. How goes yourself?
Yeah, good. Actually, I'll just take this opportunity. Guys in the live chat, can you just give us a thumbs up if our sound is coming across okay?
That would be nice to know, because we have had the usual bunch of audio gremlins here in the Sector 1 comms box. Seems like we've had a bit of a mouse infestation in the couple of weeks that we've been away, and they've chewed through a few cables here and there. So
Yeah.
just like to know that everything is up and functioning as it should be.
So I'm not real sure. There hasn't been a reaction yet, but yes, we got a thumbs up. Beauty. Thanks, guys.
Excellent.
Carbon, any insights from the practice session and the practice starts?
Well, I got to say, it's been a fairly even spread throughout the drivers here tonight. It's looking very, very tight at our sprint race here at Trial Mountain tonight. But there's been a couple of guys standing out with some really, really quick times. We've got Kiwi Matt from Black Rose Racing in the Jaguar F-Type. Also, Mr. D. Reed from the Doghouse Racing Corvette, as well as his teammate Evil Evo in the other Doghouse Racing Corvette. Are both looking very, very rapid. So there's obviously something in the water over at Doghouse, something in their water bowls. And another one, a little sneaky one to watch out for tonight, is also Dadson, also in a Corvette in a beautiful black and gold Bacchus Brewing livery, which I'm always a fan of.
Yeah, no.
So those are four drivers to definitely keep an eye on tonight.
Absolutely. And when we mean quickest, there's really only a few tenths over most of the field tonight. And the slipstream is alive on the back straight. So, but before we go any further, a big shout out to our sponsors, Adelaide Ceramic Coatings, LJ Media and Design, APR Automotive and Boxer Beauty. It's these valued sponsors help us bring the racing to you every Sunday night. And also, don't forget, hit that like and subscribe, hit that like button in YouTube. And if you're not already a subscriber, tonight is your chance to do so. And there's also a link to our Discord in the YouTube page if you would like to join the Sector 1 community. So what we'll do, we haven't got the track map strategy slide tonight as a sprint race, but we'll just have a quick overview of Trial Mountain, 5.4 kilometres long, 58 metre elevation change through the duration of the lap, 15 turns in a mix of high and low speed, and it does have two of the longest straights the drivers will probably encounter this season, so makes for a good race. Tonight, it's a sprint format, so that's 2 by 20 minute races. We have a 10-minute qualifier, which will set the grid for race 1. And the race 2 grid will be the race 1 finishing order. So where the battles end in one race, they carry on in race 2. Tyre wear set at 1. Mandatory compound is racing softs for both races. Fuel burn rate at 1. Refuel rate 4 litres a second. The cars can get through without fuel, but yeah, it just depends. No mandatory pit stops. And being the tuned Group 4 race cars, just to give you an overview of the settings, horsepower is capped at 543 and the minimum weight is 1,415 kilos. So all the cars start on those figures and then the tuning is up to the individual teams. So look, with Cat 1, we'll quite possibly somewhere along the line see a 151 in quali. race laps 52, 53, 54. It is a sprint race. The tyres and fuel real world settings, I'll get that out, should mean a really good race. How hard they push in the last 10 minutes is how much they look after the car in the first 10, because 20 minutes flat out will degrade the car somewhat. So there's a bit of driver skill and racecraft involved to get there. Points, we've only had one round this season, so I'll just cover the podium for those. In Group A, we've got Geesh on 33 points. We have Brocky 05 on 27 and Ricky Bobby on 25. For Group B, which is the first race up tonight, we have Stickers sitting on 60. He played his Joker card in round 1 and was the only driver to do so. Evil Evo 29 and Dadson in third place so far on 24 points. No Joker card tonight, everyone, because it's only available for standard rounds, not for our sprint or enduro where there's higher points on offer. So with the teams championship, Lightning Motorsports sitting on 130, driving the Merc. Dadson Racing with the Vet on 98 points and CP Motorsport on 97. You take that Joker out, there's only a handful of points between all the teams after round 1. So some very even car choices across the 4 brands that are racing. Carbon, we've got a couple of stand-in drivers. I might throw over to you to run through those for the races tonight.
We do indeed. Drivers were unable to make the field tonight, as we found out in advance. Mr. LP Armans, driving for Hoon Corp, will be substituted by a Renegade, who is stepping up to secure some team points for Hoon Corp tonight. And Mr. Baker Boy for CP Motorsports is going to be filled in by Aussie GTR. There's also been a couple of absentees at the moment. We are missing a couple of drivers from the grid tonight. We are missing Mr. Budsy from CP Motorsports. I have not been up and down the pit lane, and I've not seen a second CP racing car tonight.
No.
And also, we are noticeably missing Mr. Stickers, the team owner from Lightning Motorsport. After his sensational round 1, I had anticipated that he would definitely be here on the grid tonight, but no sign of the Lightning Motorsport team owner at this stage. But we will keep our eyes open, and if he is a bit of a late joiner, we can always just slot him in at the back of the grid so he can at least secure some points this week. But what do you say we smack that big orange button and get qualifying underway?
Absolutely. So, yeah, Cat 1 Group B qualifying, brought to you by Boxer Beauty. Let's go.
Lovely. The big button has been pushed. I did have a friendly reminder from one of the drivers that lobby settings was not entirely correct, so we just had to do a quick little reboot there. But hey, look, it's been a while since I've been in the race director seat as opposed to the streamer seat, so a little bit rusty.
And ditto for streaming. I think it was the first week of November, so yes, definitely rusty.
That's okay. It's like falling off a bike. Once you've done it, you remember it forever.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't hurt.
Riding a bike. So first out tonight, looks like it is Mr. Bumcrack, the team owner for Kraken Esports, in the beautiful green and black Mercedes, sponsored by Big Rock Brewing. Then we've got the very distinctive green mirror and wing end plates edition of the Doghouse Motorsport Corvette belonging to Evil Evo. Nice to have him back in Sector 1. He's had a season off last season, just for a bit of a break, a bit of a refresher. Looks like he's come back again, nice and strong.
Absolutely. And Giffo in his third on track, and that's a Jag, I believe.
Yes, belonging to Jamco Racing. to be the Jamco team owner.
Yep, and Kiwi Matt also in the Jag. Fifth car on the track, Dadson in the Bacchus black and gold livery, an all-time favourite, that one. Boybegum in P6, track position 6 for Black Rose. We've got Renegade in the Hooncorp Mercedes. Warbo in the Harvey's Towing, part of the Dadson team. Harvey's Mechanical and Welding, DiNicno in Hooncorp Merc in track position 9. Damo Reed in the second of the Doghouse Vets.
What do you say we just call him Damo? We'll just make it nice and easy. We'll just call him Damo.
Yeah. Aussie Sim Racing, that's CP Motorsports. And Big J in P12, which should round out the drivers on the track. That's Lightning Motorsports. So we've got Mr. Bumcrack. This is his first flyer. So 31.
It's definitely worth watching. Definitely worth watching Bumcrack through that first sector. It was rather interesting watching him on that left-handed corner before the entrance to the first tunnel. He did have a bit of a tendency to really run wide and engage lawnmower mode onto the grass on the outside. So hopefully he doesn't continue that trend through qualifying and all the race.
No, we had the pit crew working overtime there in the break.
Yep, that rear bumper has been off and replaced with a fresh one. Nice to see the car looking all spick and span again.
Yep, so we'll just stay on Mr. Bumcrack as he runs that first lap. It'll be interesting to see with such a long lap time of nearly 2 minutes here whether they will pit for tyres or push on as the tyres wear but with a lot of fuel load given the 1 times tyre rate.
Oh, with the 1 times tyre burn, so far I'm looking at the tyre wear on the cars after 3.5 minutes, and it's fairly negligible. So I would imagine that I don't anticipate seeing anyone coming into the pits unless they are like severely pedantic about things. But I feel that would be a complete waste of time because...
52.9. Sorry to cut over you. That was really a 52.4 for Evil.
There we go.
5 tenths up, Kiwi Matt. And
51, there we go.
51.8. Wow. I thought we'd see one, but not this early.
Yeah, Boybegum has stepped up and sent a message. He did miss a family holiday of the United States. So hopefully he had a fantastic time touring around America. Was sending many photos of being at various race events that he and his family went to, and it was a little bit jealousy inducing.
Yeah, I think he got to Daytona, didn't he?
I believe he did.
Yeah.
And now that he's come back to Sector 1, he's got his head down and he's put himself right up the front of the grid and said, "Hello boys, I'm back and I am a force to be reckoned with."
We'll just have a look at Kiwi Matt's split at the end of the straight to see where he's at the end of the second sector. But that is going to be a hard time to beat. 151.836. That's a cracker.
Considering the next time down the order is Kiwi Matt half a second behind, that's a lot of time to find.
Well, he's not quite a tenth better, but yeah, that's still 4 tenths to find. So we'll see where Boybegum crosses the line, then we'll have a bit of a look down the rest of the field. But yeah, the top 6 are now into the 52s. Let's put a bit of pressure on Category 2 next week, that's for sure.
Right, so all the drivers have made an absolute mockery of my tyre assessment, and there is 5 drivers in the pits, 6 drivers in the pits right now.
Yep.
Wow, okay. Rightio, you guys are severely pedantic.
I think with that half a second gap to Boybegum, Oh, boy, becomes war in the grass there, going under the tunnels. So that will kill this lap, I think. But
See, I was just looking at the tyre wear there of the Corvette of Evil Evo. He was probably 15 to 20% worn on that front right in 3 laps.
yeah,
Whereas Boy Bagum is on a lap 4 in the Jag and has 10% wear on that front right. So looks like the setup he's got in that Jag is very, very tyre friendly, as well as being very, very quick. So he is definitely one to watch here tonight.
absolutely. It's I'll just, yeah, it doesn't sound over revving down the straights or anything. It's yeah, they've certainly got their tuning right there.
I was just looking at he is making use of the 7th gear in the gearbox of that Jaguar, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, a lot of people when they tune 7-speed cars revert back to a 6-speed box. So
I can confirm the gearbox. The gearbox in my Jaguar, the 7th is there. Do I use it? I haven't yet.
They're in spirit.
Right, so excuse me while I'm taking gearbox notes from Black Rose right now.
Yep.
Just want to kick into the YouTube chat. Hello, everybody who's joined us. Mr. Dale Teeks, good luck to you later tonight. Mr. Robert Gunwar, Deborah Fish, pleasure to have your company again. Brian Archer, hello. Rudzy throwing in some support for his teammates at Black Rose. Hello, Mr. Debrev. Hey, a rare visit from Chase in the chat. Hello. Correcting me that Buzzy drives for Hyperdrive, which is correct. Sorry, I still had it in my head that he was a CEP driver. I should have realised because he's got Geesh in Category 1A as a CP driver. Yep, thank you for that. I always appreciate being firmly corrected. Anyway, back to the qualifying action.
Yes, we got Kiwi Matt first of a train on track that have just finished their outlap, so this one does count. Kiwi's coming through the first of and he's purple. He's up by 2/10 on Bluegum. Can he hold that through what is a very tricky second sector?
Just keeping my eye on Boybagum. He's set that 51.8 on his first flyer, and he's done 2 154 laps since. So
yeah,
just want to see where he's at. He's 0.6 down on his best time, so that front ride is now starting to look a little bit, how you going?
Yep, so Kiwi
but it's a bit late for him to duck into the pits now.
Yeah, he's just coming around that left-hander up to the timing mark. We'll see where he's travelling. Purple again. Oh, and there's nothing in it. 200ths.
He might be able to steal pole position from Boy Bagum in the dying stages here.
Yeah.
He will get another lap, I imagine.
Yeah,
He'll be cutting it very fine, but
yeah. Seconds to go.
I think Evil Evo will get one as well as the Bumcrack. They'll get another flying lap in.
Yep.
Evil Evo comes across the line in a 152.1, which kicks him up to P2 and gets slapped back to P3 straight away by Kiwi Matt, who drops a 151.9.
And a 10th between them. So, and that was Kiwi Matt's, that was centre quality, so they didn't quite make it.
Audio. So only Boy Bagum, Kiwi Matt, and Evil Evo get a 6 flying lap. Everyone else has. Wait, no, sorry. No. Mr. Bumcrack is on his final lap as well.
Yep, he just made it across.
Big J. Sorry, I'm being misled by the GT7 time.
Yeah, and Mr. Bumcrack here might have a little snip of a
Warbo has
slipstream here down the back straight.
Warbo has done a quit to pit by the looks of it. Noted. Steward's pen's clicking.
Right. Evil Evo coming up to the timing mark. What can this vet do? Oh no, we missed something there. Down 5.8 seconds. Oh, someone crossed to Mr. Bumcrack, and there was someone on the grass at full lock behind him and has pirouetted.
Slightly terrifying as Boy Bagoom comes across the line, but he's a little bit slower at 53.1. But he is still in pole position over his teammate, Kiwi Matt.
So there's Mr. Bumcrack, just about to cross. Couldn't improve. Only 1/10 off his best time.
Seeing Gifo putting on an absolute drift session in that final chicane there in the Jamco race. Not likely to improve, and that is it. That is our timer run and done for qualifying.
Okay, I will just get the lobby results up and running. Okay, in top step of the podium in qualifying, we had Boybagum in a Jag in a 151.836, 1/10 back to Kiwi Matt, also in a F-type, with Evil Evo on the first to the second row on the grid at a 152.103. They are absolute cracking times. Dadson fills up the second row of the grid, also in a vet, 152.393. Then we've got two Mercs on the next row, Big J and Mr. Bumcrack, only 2/10 between them, and just on a second back to that sensational time set by Boybagum. D. Reed in P7 in the vet, Warbo in P8 in the vet, and then we have Danico in the Merc at 153.550. Renegade also in the Merc. I think they're both Hooncorp. Giffo in an F-type in P11, and last row on the grid, Aussie Sim Racing also in the Merc. Didn't have an enjoyable session. It's not too hard for things to go wrong with such long laps on a short qualifying session. So I don't think we've seen anything there from Stickers or Budsy at this point.
I have had no word from either driver, unfortunately.
No.
So a little bit sad to hear that they will not be joining us on the grid tonight. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, good effort there from Renegade, getting himself P10.
Yep, absolutely.
As a fill-in driver, driving 15 points, two groups above where he normally drives, and same for Aussie Sim Racing. Stepping up into a completely different category, especially when I believe this is his first full series in the main game for Sector 1. So he's been out of the frying pan and into the fire, so to speak, but he's holding his head up well. But that was an absolutely brilliant qualifying session from Boy Bagum and Kiwi Matt. So it's definitely looking like the Black Rose racing team are one to most definitely keep an eye on this season, as they had a really good result in Category 2 in Round 1 with both Rudzi and Madrick putting themselves in 3rd and 4th, I believe, respectively. So there was definitely a good haul of points there for them, and with any luck, it could be a good haul tonight. Yeah, so absolutely. Whenever you are ready, I am good to punch that big button and get race 1 underway.
I am absolutely ready. So race 1, brought to you by Boxer Beauty, 20-minute sprint. Let's see what these guys can do. And judging on that qualifying session, there's going to be nothing between them.
I will just let them know that they need to turn their chat transcription back on, because that is an essential feature for us to be able to run our virtual safety car this season.
Yeah, so just for the audience, while you're doing that, I'll let them know that if we do have an incident that's certainly not as severe as a red flag, but we do have a couple of drivers in mischief in that first lap, we have the ability to call a virtual safety car, which through their headsets, they will they will definitely be informed of that. And basically the drivers, just like V8 supercars, 80k initially. Once they leave that sector, they move up to 90 kilometers an hour. If the green flag is called, it'll be called at the start of the third sector, and then the lead driver will maintain the pace, and it's that driver's call when to commence racing before the finish line, before the end of that last sector. And just to keep things straightforward, there's no overtaking until after exit of the first turn. So I hope that makes sense, but yeah, it's just to give the drivers that do have a bit of an incident some time to get back onto the pack and not have their race totally ruined.
It stops a scenario where someone's been practicing for 2 weeks and then they have a first lap incident and they're 20 seconds off the back of the pack and they have no chance of catching back up. Kind of, it leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth when you're that person. Obviously, we don't want that happening, but it's been difficult to find a solution that works. There's pros and cons to everything, but hopefully we don't have to use it. So let's push the big orange button and get this race underway, because I know that's what you're all here to see.
Right,
all
Madrid
right, so
just
good luck.
into the chat, 2nd and 3rd last week.
Thank you for the correction. See, this is what I love about my audience. They are, or our audience, they are happy to correct me every single time I'm wrong, whether I like it or not. So at least they go about it in a very polite manner, and that is very greatly appreciated, because I'm going to get a lot of things wrong. So we've got drivers on the grid ready to go.
And they're racing. Great start by the first 4 drivers. Really, really fast flowing first corner here that can unsettle the cars, and it's not a little bit of a bump there between teammates. Dadson settling into Boybegum Kiwi Matt. Dadson settling into 3rd with Evo in 4th. Then Big J, Mr. Bumcrack, Warbo, and Dunico.
And I've just had word over the pit lane radio that Stickers has been sighted in pit lane.
Yes, unfortunately, yeah.
Rightio, so that will just riding on board with Giffo in P8 at the moment. He's in a feisty little pack with Warbo, Bumcrack, and Danico. He was looking to make a move down the inside just before the second tunnel, but the other 3 boys were not having a bar of it. Sorry, as we were saying, we do have a Stickers in pit lane, so we will be able to slot him into the... Oh, there's been a massive touch there with Danico getting into the Bumcrack
somehow
in the braking
Bumcrack
zone.
held it. Really hard part of the track. Wow.
That was an absolutely perfect example of car control right there. If that was me, I would have been at full 720 into the wall. But Mr. Bumcrack, beautifully held, sir. My hat goes off to you. But up the front, Kiwi Matt has decided to overtake his teammate.
Yeah, and we've got.
I'll keep an eye on things further down the pack.
Evil Evo has overtaken Dadson in the Battle of the Vets.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a touch there in that final chicane, but all's well that ends well.
Big J is putting a lot of pressure on Dadson here, so we might just stay on this through these set of sweeping corners. But as you can see by the cars there, the curbs, they're not big, but with the speed and the downforce, they definitely upset the car. Big J had a look down the inside there, but that apex in that tunnel jumps out, so not the good place to be.
And there is also that lovely little bump undulation in the road surface as you come out of that first tunnel that can really catch you out if you're in too low a gear and hard on the power. You can end up 90 degrees into that left-hand wall before you can blink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ask me how I know. And it gets a little bit gappy back to Warbo in P6 and then Giffo in P7. Bumcrack in the Kraken Esports Mercedes has managed to get past D. Reed in the Doghouse Corvette down the back straight, which is not a sentence I thought I would say. But yeah, that Merc has definitely got some pace. Because there's no short shifting from the Corvette.
Yeah,
and Danico's having a look as well, but backs out of it.
Yeah, the cars should get home. Well, they will get home on fuel. It's the tyres that, you know, depending on just where you are in the race, how you're driving them. There's some drivers that can hold them through to the end, but they can have a tendency, if you're racing hard, really battling, you can be left with almost on a very 5% tyre at the end. Maybe less.
Yeah. You'll get home on fuel, but how cooked your tyres are at that point in time remains to be seen.
Yeah, Dadson's just opened up a little bit of a gap here, just approaching a second on Big J. We'll just go back to Kiwi Matt. Yeah, they've definitely got these Black Rose cars. He's out to 1.2 seconds already. They've definitely got these Black Rose cars tuned well. And good driving. So I might go back and have a look at Mr. Buncrack, how he's going. He's got a gaggle there behind him. Giffo, D. Reed, D-Nico and Renegade. So there is nothing across there. One mistake. We'll just see how the slipstream goes. Yeah, definitely one of the hardest braking corners to track. The cars here get to about 285, 288 kilometres an hour without slipstream. And you've got to pull it up really hard for this left-hander. And just at the top of the hill there, it looks 2-3 car wide, but it's almost a one lane given the change in camber and the tight right-hander.
So I've just noticed something in the YouTube chat. Currently, we have 89 people watching the stream tonight, which I don't really keep an eye on these sorts of numbers, but that is a rather large number of people. So everybody in the chat, if you could just smack that like button on this video right now, that would be greatly appreciated. And thank you very much for tuning in tonight. It is an absolute joy to have your company as we bring to you the Sector 1 Season 12 Legacy Series.
Yeah, absolutely. It's these races tonight. These are the best of the best. And so Giffo's a little bit wide there. He's going to lose a bit of ground to D. Reed. A good run out of this tunnel complex. Although Reed's holding Giffo's holding the inside for that 2x2 around there. That little concrete gutter is quite dangerous as well.
Both drivers giving each other plenty of room. Giffo was giving it, he's very sideways there. He was giving it plenty of throttle in second gear to try and hold his position as Danico, ever the opportunist, sneaks up the inside of Damo on that left-hander into the third tunnel. Third tunnel.
Yeah, and Damo just had to ease off a bit there on exit into the tunnel.
Danico's having a sniff of Giffo down the inside here into the braking zone. Gets it done, if you don't mind, umpire. Thank you.
Yeah, it's where Giffo's just got to roll off there to make that.
Oh, that's a touch. There's been a touch. Oh, Giffo's just... Oh, thank goodness for ghosting there as Mr. Sim Racing goes straight through Danico. I think there was just a miscalculation of braking zone there for Giffo, and he's touched the back of Danico.
Might see if we can get a replay on that. Just rolls off coming over the top. Yeah, the smallest of touches. That's where I said there is just no room there.
Very unfortunate. But Giffo has backed off and redressed the situation, so brilliant sportsmanship. Love to see it. Just casting my eye back out the front to the Black Rose boys. There is a 2.1 second gap between Kiwi Matt and Boy Bagum, who, from what I can tell, seem to be running pretty much identical tunes in the car, at least from a gearbox perspective. In terms of tyre wear, well, I might let you know that in another, say next lap, we'll jump to a
we're almost
APR tyre and fuel update.
We're a minute off the halfway mark, just over a minute. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. We just had a little ABS issue there where the screen froze, but I think we're back to normal transmission now. Just jump
All
up
right,
to
I've just got to mention this now. We've cracked the triple digits of live viewers. We have 101 people currently watching. So if everybody currently watching right now, if you could smack that like button and smack the subscribe button, we would greatly appreciate all the love and support you can throw our way. And again, thank you very much for taking the time to tune in tonight. Yeah, absolutely blown away by that.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
That link to our Sector 1 Discord community, definitely have a look at that and see what Sector 1's got to offer. And, you know, with our community series that will run shortly in conjunction with the main game races, definitely a great place to be.
There is a link to the Sector 1 Discord in the video description, so click that, join us, come take a look. And if you like what you see, jump in and join us.
No worries. Well, I reckon we're at the halfway mark right now, 10 minutes out. We'll go down for a quick look at the tyres and just if there's any major discrepancies in the fuel.
So this is our tyre and fuel update brought to you by APR Automotive. You are in safe hands. Up the front of the field, doing quite well at the moment with a 1.5 second gap, is Kiwi Matt. The fuel situation, he's at about 85% left in the tank, so looking very comfortable for fuel. It's going to be the front right-hand tyre that I'll focus on tonight, so that's the only one that I'm really going to give you any information on because all the others are all fine. Kiwi Matt is currently looking at about 60% left on that front right tyre, whereas his teammate in P2 is in a much healthier situation where he's got about 70% left on that front right. Fairly identical fuel situation. In third position, Evil Evo in the very thirsty Doghouse Corvette, but he's doing a fantastic job of managing that fuel. He is identical to the two Jaguars in front of him. Tyre wear, on the other hand, look, he's probably got about 40-something% left on that front right, so he's going to be in a bad way in a couple of laps' time. Dadson in the Dadson Racing Corvette, again, the fuel situation's fairly identical, but he's looking really, really good in terms of tyre. He's got about 55% left on that front right. I think the king of the Corvette tyre wear, though, that award goes to Warbo in P5. He is a little bit thirsty on the fuel. He is just over 75% left in the tank. However, he's got about, well, let's be honest, about 70% left on that front right. So he's doing
really well.
Absolutely brilliant job of managing that tyre. Big J in a P6 in the Lightning Motorsport Mercedes. He's about 45% left on that front right, just over 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Mr. Bumcrack, identical on fuel, but he is significantly better than Big J in terms of tyre wear in an identical Mercedes, well, except for tune, obviously, as both of them slapped the wall on the entrance to the third tunnel, and that cost them quite a bit of speed. So I think Bumcrack's going to make a move here.
Absolutely. Got a good run up the hill in fifth gear.
He's got honestly about 70 to 75% left on that front right tyre, so he's doing a brilliant job of managing that tyre wear.
And potentially bring him back up to a podium position if the others burn their tyre.
Definitely one to watch later in this race. In P8 at the moment is our mate Damo for Doghouse. He's above 3/4 of a tank of fuel, and he's got maybe 60% left on that front right tyre. Renegade filling in for Hooncorp tonight. He's doing pretty good on the tyre situation as well. Got about 70% left on that front right, and well above 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Danico for Hooncorp as well, back in P10. He's above 3/4 of a tank, got about 50% left on that front right. Mr. Aussie Sim Racing, also a fill-in for team points tonight, above 3/4 of a tank, about 60% left on that front right. And Giffo has had a bit of a whoopsie somewhere, judging by his lap time on lap 4. That might have been after his earlier incident. Look, I don't know how to put this, but that front right is completely baked. There's about 20% left on it, and he's got over 6 minutes to go. So
yeah, he might be looking at a dive into the pits, I think.
Yeah. And that is our APR Tyre and Fuel update.
Thank you very much, APR Tyre and Automotive, I think it is. But look, really interesting about Boybegum's front tyre. That's going to hold him in really good stead as the closing laps come down. Kiwi's not far off it, but interesting with Dadson and Warbo, what they can do with their tyre as well. Like, how much is enough to get them home? Definitely not 20%, but will 50 do it? And of course, Bumcrack just sitting back in, I think it was P7 with probably the best tyres in the field. So that's definitely going to catch a few out later in the race, I think.
100%. Bumcrack is only 9.4 seconds off the leader. That gap between him and Warbo in P5 has been steadily dropping. He's carved 0.2 off him in the last sector alone.
And talking about a dropping gap, oh, sorry mate, sorry to talk over you, but
although
Boybegum is now within 0.7 of Kiwi Matt. That was out to about 1.9 seconds, and I'm just trying to see what the differential is. Yeah, it's probably Boybegum's just being able to hold into the lower 53s for the last couple of laps. So 0.6.
Kiwi Matt's tyre, he's probably maybe just under 40% left on that front right, whereas Boybegum is easily over 50%. So
yeah, so
Boybegum has got much more rubber on that front right.
But it just shows how, so since we started the tyre and fuel update, there's 20% have come off those tyres. So yeah, that's where that extra 10% in the
Speaking of tyres, Evil Evo, currently in P3, he's going to be under a lot of trouble from Dad's soon. The gap's half a second, but
yeah,
Evil Evo's got maybe 10% left on that front right.
And you can see the gap. He's 6 seconds of drift now, Boybegum and Kiwi Matt in front. So
there's 4 minutes of racing to go.
0.2 between teammates here. Boybegum having a look up the inside. A little bit better tyres allowed him to turn tighter, but he'll have to roll off here. Gap's back out to 6.
See, I think the 3 drivers that are going to be fighting for the final spot on the podium, or depending on how Kiwi Matt goes with his tyres, the 3 drivers who will be fighting for a spot on the podium are going to be Dadson, Warbo and Bumcrack, who are currently P4, 5 and 6 respectively.
Yep. Yeah, we'll stay on board here with Boybegum up through this left-right, left combination, just so you can get an idea of the speed, but also where it's almost a little crest that you run over.
I would not want to be in Evil Evo's shoes going through that first sector right now. That front right is screaming done. Dadson is basically another sponsor sticker on the rear bar of that doghouse car right now.
Yeah,
as he does go very deep under brakes. Oh, there's 3 Corvettes wide. Are you kidding?
They both got got Evil there, where he just with the congestion in the pass.
Yeah, unfortunately, Evil Evo's a sit with that tyre.
Yeah, you could hear the tyre just protesting on that turn into the downhill turn into the straight, and you look in the mirror, there's Mr. Bumcrack.
Yeah, look, the plumber's going to be in P5 before the end of the lap. I have no doubt about it. Being an anti-clockwise direction track, that front right is just going to get absolutely hammered.
Yeah. Bumcrack's speed in that corner, well, he's got him there, so P5, but Warbo saw him coming and even covered a bit to the left, so that Merc's got plenty left. How's his tyre, Mr. Bumcrack's?
Mr. Bumcrack's front right is probably just on 50% worn now.
Yeah, so
which
he's
is
well placed for the
only marginally better than Warbo in the Corvette of Datsun Racing in front of him. So, I mean, there's a couple of percent difference between Datsun and Warbo, so they're looking really, really good in terms of tyre wear. And just checking up the front, I was thinking Boy Bagoon was being nice to his teammate, but now he slips on through up the inside of turn one.
And
he's done being nice.
Lap, I think. Yeah, it will be.
I would imagine, yep. Lap 11 is going to be the last lap. And I think Kiwi Matt is just going to be trying to hold on for a best position here because he's got maybe 12% left on that front right. So Boy Bagoom is maybe 40% left. So he's easily got him covered in terms of tyre.
Yeah, certainly. Whereas last week we were battling with the left front, this track's the right front, but when you throw in some of the high speed corners and the push you get through it, you just have to roll off to make the car turn and makes for a slow lap
also
time.
Worth mentioning, we're now up to 108 live viewers.
Wow, I don't recall seeing that in a very long time.
I don't think I've ever seen triple digits of live viewers at one point. So
111.
Very, 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 very flattered to have you all here and very happy to joining us tonight.
Yeah, someone could be giving us a rev up as well. there's a bot having a go at us. So,
I'm happy. Like, I embrace our bot overlords.
Yep, so we've got Boy Begum in P1, 1.5 seconds to the better of Kiwi Matt in a better tyre position. So this will be a great first win and give him pole position too in the second race. So we'll just wait for him to cross the finish line. Formation finish. Boy Begum, P1, P2, Kiwi Matt, and he's excited about that, having missed the first round. And we've got Dadson closely followed by Warbo. Will he hold it for the... Yes, for P2. Mr. Bumcrack in P5. Big J in the Merc, and Evil Evo has held on for P7. Damo P8, under a lot of pressure there from Renegade in the Mercedes. That was a really good drive by Renegade, filling in for team points, and gave him a little love tap on the way through. So, yeah, that is the race. Aussie Sim Racing, Giffo just crossing the line.
Yeah, that front right of Giffo is
gone.
Yeah, that's more cracked than Frankston train station. That's a Melbourne joke. Sorry if the rest of Australia doesn't understand that one. And that is our race one run and done.
All right, we'll get the lobby results brought up for you. All right, in P1, and a very strong race, took the lead going into the last lap. Boy Begum, total race time 20.59. Best lap of 152.986, marginally slower than his teammate Kiwi Matt in second place. Nothing in the in that race between them, and I think quite possibly we could see the result reversed next time out as they learn their tyres. Dadson for Dadson Racing in P3. 6 seconds adrift, and then there was a bit of a freight train after that with Warbo, also from Dadson, in P4, Mr. Bumcrack in P5, who I think picked up about 4 or 5 positions through that race to one part where he was early on the first lap. A great drive there. Big J in P6. Evil Evo held on for P7 in the vet with very stressed tyres. Damo Reed in P8. Renegade in P9, Denicno in P10, Aussie Sim Racing P11, and Giffo in P12. Again with very stressed tyres, but didn't stop. He persevered with those for Jamco and kept going. So that is your thoughts on that.
I was genuinely surprised by the differences in tyre wear between cars. I honestly thought the Corvettes were going to be the victims of their own success here at Trial Mountain, but clearly I was wrong, as I am so very, very frequently, and that's okay. Yeah, I was genuinely surprised, but in the differences in tyre wear between the cars and
even within the same manufacturer. Yeah, I think it
so
comes
I'm just resetting the room now so we can get the grid set manually for race 2. I am pleased to announce that we do have a stickers joining us on the grid tonight for race 2. Unfortunately, he was a little bit late, and we'll be starting from the back of the grid. But I mean, look, it's better than nothing. So if you can just bear with me, maybe if you just jump to our YouTube chat and have a bit of a hello to those people.
And we'll take a short intermission. We'll be back with you in about 2 or 3 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. And I hope you grabbed a drink and some popcorn, because this race will be an absolute cracker as well. This race, first race, there were points through to P8, I believe. Could be wrong, it might be P10, but definitely we're back to our normal race points for this second 20-minute sprint. So Carbon has done the grid, we're ready to go. Stickers will start from the rear of the grid, missing that first race. So it'll be really good to see how he goes and how he looks after the car during the 20 minutes, as we've seen the other drivers have been on show. So I reckon, Carbon, we should fire this up. Let's hit the button and get cracking.
I totally agree. There was a couple of little electrical gremlins in the Black Rose Racing garage. Boy Bagum was unable to get the car started. As it turns out, he had blown the main start fuse, so quick fuse change, and the Jag is back out on the grid on pole position. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes in terms of tyre management over his teammate for race 2.
Yep, 1 light, 3 lights, all red, we're ready to go. And a great start, clean start, good jump by Boybagum in P1. He should be able to hold that position on the outside, or Kiwi Matt's still fighting over that, but he has. He's come up the inside and managed to grab it. Dadson up to P3. This will be, and is he taking the inside line here? Very, very tight through there.
One to watch for me this race is Stickers, who... Oh, someone's gone around. Bumcrack's had a moment. Oh, dear. After the tunnel on that downhill section, he has had a massive moment at the right-hander. He is well off the back of the pack.
No worries. I'll just see if I could capture that.
Oh, that has not gone well for the Kraken esports team owner.
Oh, he's hit that concrete, that little gutter there, and got caught up on it and spun around.
Oh, hello. We've got another yellow flag. Boy Bagum. He's had a moment at the braking zone. What is going on here? Boy Bagum, our race leader, is back down into P12 after the braking zone, after the back straight on lap 1. I didn't quite catch what happened, but I just saw a heap of smoke and a Black Rose Racing Jag in the wall. No damage to the car, but...
I think I've missed that one. I haven't been able to capture it. Just see aftermath.
There's a lot of damage to race position. He's gone from P1 to P12. That has absolutely blown things wide open here in race 2. So the big beneficiary for that has been Boy Bagum's Black Rose teammate, Kiwi Matt. He is way out in front to the tune of 2.7 seconds over Warbo.
Yeah, but what's happened to what has happened to Dadson in there? He's missing as well.
That's a
He's in
good
P9
question.
So,
Ooh.
and there's damage on the paintwork there, so I'm just wondering if he's caught up in that incident or he's had another moment elsewhere.
There is some marks. Oh, there is a lot of evidence marks on that front bumper of the Dadson,
and the
Dadson car.
driver's side. Or driver's side.
Look,
yeah.
I'm going to stay out of that one.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. The replay didn't capture it because it was straight on the back of we had the replay for Bumcrack loaded, so unfortunately it wouldn't let us do it. But that's brought Big J right up on the back. Warbo in second place, but Big J is having a huge look here. And Evo into the mix in P4, so we'll see what he can do if his tyres this round, but this race. And he's got his teammate Damo Reed behind him.
That is absolutely a blown race 2 wide open. Although, as I was mentioning earlier, a driver I'm moment is someone who is blowing race 2 wide open is Stickers.
Yeah,
He's up to P6
Absolutely.
after starting P13. And it's not even the end of lap 2.
What was that? That was ahead of Stickers. Oh, that was a big moment there under brakes for, I reckon,
Evil Evo by the look of it.
Damo Reed. He's dropped back to 8th. Was it Evil or Damo? Yeah, very hard to tell.
I think Damo was already a bit lower on the grid. I think, oh man.
Yeah, no, that would have been Evil then. There's only 2 tenths between them, and Sticker's form last week, he will. There's a bit of paint damage on Evil's car there too, on the left-hand rear quarter.
So after the 2 laps, Stickers has gone from P13 to P5.
Yeah.
Just quietly. Holy!
And he's now bringing Dadson, Giffo, and Danico with him. So there's a great battle pack forming here.
Yeah, we saw in round 1 that Stickers definitely had the pace and consistency to run on a podium level in category 1B. That was no surprise. I'm just going to stop. Words are hard.
Yeah. And Damo Reed's going backwards. He's just 2 positions to the rear of where he was at the start of that. We've got Aussie Sim Racing, Mr. Bumcrack in P11, and Boybegum in P13.
It's nice to see Giffo having a better run in race 2. He started in P12 and he's currently up to P6 at the moment. He's coming under fire from Dadson into the final chicane right now. And Dadson gets the move done and takes P6 off him. But definitely good to see Giffo having a slightly better run.
Yeah, and Warbo in P2. He's setting his fastest lap time of the race so far, but Big J has been at that distance on his bumper for now 3 laps, so he's doing a very, very good job under pressure. And as I say that, Big J's gone down the inside, but he'll hold the outside for the corner here, so it's really hard to pass in this right-hander. Yep, Warbo's been able to hold it. Might go on board with Big J here and just see what the slipstream does. Sixth gear, 270 kilometres an hour. That's just able to hold him off, but big ground made under brakes. And he was definitely using that right outside front through there. Ooh, touched the curb there. Oh, that was, and the wall there. So yeah, that was so close there. That curb was unforgiving.
Oh, I've just seen a massive moment there from Danico. He had binned it in the second last sector after the back straight there. The tricky up over the hill into the braking zone for the downhill right-hander. It looks like it was all self-inflicted. Might have been a bit of a touch on the curb there.
Yeah.
But he has spun the car 90 degrees. Fortunately, he held up his teammate in the process.
Let's see if we can catch that.
So, the 2 Hoon
oh, yes, you can just
Court
see that on the
guys
replay.
running P12 and 13 respectively. I was riding on board with Stickers and Dadson, keeping an eye on them, and I believe Danico was running P7th or 8th at that time. And I just heard a lot of screaming tyres in the background.
Yeah, it's certainly put him a long way off the pack here. But yeah, there's still enough time in the race. We're only up just over the 8-minute mark, and the group in front of him reasonably close together. Boybegum has managed to pull himself up into 10th place, so he's making a march forward again, and he's only 1.8 off the back of Damo Reed. Mr. Bumcrack.
There's two drivers I would definitely be keeping my eye on tonight, and that is Dadson and Stickers, currently in P5 and P6 as Dadson gets past Stickers on that back straight using the power of the Corvette, because these guys, while they're a little bit off the leader, they are definitely in contention in terms of pace and tyre wear for a podium spot. So don't write them off just yet. Just as we tick over the 9-minute mark, they are still well within contention for a podium finish.
Yeah, and not very far off the back of Evo and Big J. So they battle a bit ahead of them to bring these two into the mix. All right, well, I reckon 9.5 minutes. How about we have a look at those front tyres, front rights?
Roger that. So thanks to APR Automotive for update, we have a very comfortable looking Kiwi Matt for Black Rose Racing out front to the tune of 6 seconds. Fuel is not really worry. Pretty much everyone is 3/4 of a tank, so I'm not really going to concern myself with that. Kiwi Matt must have done something to his tune or just driving style in between races, because his tyre wear is looking a lot better this time around. That front right is currently sitting on about 80% left, so he's looking very, very healthy. In P2, it's fairly a copy-paste situation for Warbo. He does have a little bit less fuel than Kiwi Matt, but given that he's in a Corvette, we will forgive him for that. Hot on his heels is a Big J, and he's also looking at about 75% left on that front right tyre, with fairly identical fuel consumption to Warbo in front of him, so he's definitely using all of that SLS Mercedes rev range. Hot on their heels is Evil Evo, and he's pretty much a copy-paste situation in terms of tyre and fuel for them, so he's looking like he can be a threat for the podium, as well as Dadson, currently in P5. He's 2.4 seconds off the back of that little hot pack there. Little more tyre wear on that front right. He's probably down to about 60% left. And Stickers, who is right on the back of him, is probably got a slight tyre advantage to the tune of 5% or so, but fairly commendable given that he started in P13 and is currently running P6. P7, who's going to get the Tyre Whisperer Award tonight, I think, is Mr. Bumcrack, who has easily 80-85% left on that front right, but he is at the front of a very hot pack of our mate Damo in the Doghouse Corvette, looking at about 80% left on that front right tyre. Mr. Boy Bagoom on the comeback from his early back straight incident. He's probably got about 70% left on that front right tyre. Giffo, he's having a bad time tonight in terms of tyre wear. He's probably got about 35% left on that front right, with 7.5 minutes to go. So that's not looking good for him. Mr. Aussie Sim Racing, he's looking about 60% left on that front right. Mr. Renegade doing very well on the tyre, about 75% left. And he has gotten past his teammate Danico, who's probably got about 75% on that front right as well.
No worry. Thank you for that, and thank you APR Automotive for the tyre and fuel update. It's definitely interesting to see. Maybe there are a couple of tweaks made between the races, but also too, we started late morning and we're now well and truly into the afternoon. I'm not sure whether the increasing track temp has made the tyres a bit more forgiving and not as slidey, but yeah, definitely good to see some of those drivers that were struggling in the first race. Yeah, there wasn't much between them, to be honest, in that top 7 or 8.
the hot pack right now to keep an eye on is P2, P3, P4 with Big J, Warbo, and Evil Evo. Warbo and Big J are definitely going at it hammer and tong, and I think Evil Evo's just sitting back, waiting for the outcome of that battle right now.
Oh, he's taking the
But he
inside
can't
line
afford-
through the tunnel. But yeah, just
He
didn't have
can't
the
afford to be
glimpse.
too complacent because he does have Dadson and Stickers coming in hot.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that gap, 1.8 at the moment. We'll see what it's like towards the end of the lap. Just looking at the lap times, just started to creep into the 144s. Actually, Evil's got a really good run into the tunnel here, so we'll see what he can do under brakes with a bit of slipstream.
Ooh, just on a side note, there's only 3 drivers running traction control here in the field tonight. One of them is currently carrying a half-second penalty, and that is Renegade in P12. But the other 2 drivers running traction control are the 2 that are going at it fairly hammer and tong, which is Dadson and Stickers.
Yeah, definitely some advantages to it from a tyre wear perspective, but depending on where you set it, can also impact your lap times. Makes for a safer race, but it can
100%.
impact your lap times.
As someone who has been very anti-traction control in the past, I have swallowed my ego a little bit with these cars this season, and I just tried it with the APR Jag in testing, and while it's not any quicker or any slower, it's definitely more consistent.
Yeah, it can just remove that unexpected surprise at times.
But it stops me being overly stupid, is how I would put it.
Yeah.
It gives me a little bit. It gives you a little bit more flexibility in terms of how aggressive you are before the car just tries to actively destroy you.
Yeah, so Big J into P2 there through that tunnel complex down the back straight. Sorry, front straight through the left, right, left.
Looks like Big J's trying to make the move, or trying to make hay while the sun shines. So we've got, 16 minutes into the race. Warbo does have a little bit of a tyre advantage over Big J, so it's highly unlikely that Big J knows that, but he's probably just like, you know what, I want track position, I will worry about defending it later.
Yeah, and even though Warbo was all over Big J, he did use a little bit of track position there just to line up the corner and sort of take the emphasis off someone going up the inside. But yeah, this is for the second and third steps on the podium.
It's been absolutely brilliant to watch these 3 guys go at it for the last couple of laps, because they've been nose to tail for the better part of 10 minutes without incident or without drama. But they need to watch themselves, because it's about to become a 5-car battle, because that gap to Dadson and Stickers is down to 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, half a second in a lap. And look, a big shout out here to Kiwi Matt, nearly 10 seconds up the road. Very, very dominant and careful drive here, so he's done a sensational job.
Yeah, I think without the added pressure of his teammate pushing him from behind, he's just been able to back off a little bit and just conserve that tyre, because his tyre wear is way better than it was in race 1. So I think he's just been able to not push and just being able to conserve the car.
Just gone up the inside of Stickers there, just on the exit out of the tunnel. And Boybegum is starting to come in, Mr. Bumcrack and Boybegum are starting to come into view of these guys, so there is not a lot there. So I don't think Stickers will be able to get a right of reply on the straight, because he's 6/10 back. It just might be a little bit too far. We'll just go back behind him to Boybegum. That gap's come down by pretty much, I think, 2 seconds just in recent laps. And you've got behind Mr. Bumcrack, you've got Boybegun only 4 tenths back, so this will be a good fight.
Well, based off the lap times for the previous race, this race will be an 11-lap race. So we're on lap 10 now.
Yeah.
That gap between Dadson and Stickers has extended out to a second. So,
yeah, and
I mean, it's still a commendable effort from Stickers to go up from P13 to P6.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, actually, Warbo is having some serious looks here at Big J. So he's definitely racing to the finish. He's not content on sitting on a third spot and being in the potential clutches of Evil and Dadson. So there we go. He's up beside him, but wrong spot for that corner. Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, there's Evil up the inside. He's just picked up, that's put Big J back 2 spots. Great racing. You know, they're big cars through that sector, and they gave themselves racing room and pulled off some big moves there.
Love to see it. Because when I saw in the previous race, I saw 3 Corvettes going side by side through the second sector, and I got a little bit scared, not going to lie.
Well, they are about the size of a US aircraft carrier, I can tell you that. And probably the similar weight. Oh, Evil Evo.
I shall herefore now refer to the Corvettes as the USSS Gerald Ford.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, similar displacement.
Similar fuel consumption too.
Yeah.
Oh, Dadson and Stickers getting very feisty here. Oh, banging doors all over the place. Nothing untoward. Just both drivers getting the elbows out. Love to see it.
And that 1 second
Final
gap
lap
is now
stuff.
2 tenths.
Kiwi Matt coming onto the front straight now in a very well-earned victory, I would say, here in race 2 tonight.
Yeah, very, very solid race. Out to 11 seconds. The Black Rose cars and drivers have certainly got their game together this season. 2 commanding drives.
Warbo takes P2, Evil Evo Big 3, Big J takes P4. Dadson in P5, Stickers P6, Mr. Bumcrack P7, Boy Bagum on the comeback in P8, our mate Damo P9, Danico takes P10 over his teammate Renegade, filling in for team points tonight, P11, Aussie Sim Racing another fill in, and Giffo having a very rough night in terms of tyre because that front right is absolutely cooked. It's well before 9 o'clock. I can't use a description I want to use. So, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the conclusion of Category 1B Round 2, this sprint race edition. Run and done.
Absolutely. So there are the formal results. Very similar race time and fastest lap times as well. 152.8, which is a very, very smart race lap, that one. Kiwi Matt in P1, filling the podium, Warbo and Evil in a pair of Corvettes, positions 2 and 3, Big J in 4th in a Merc, Dadson in a Corvette in P5, Stickers, big drive from starting on the last row of the grid, P13, up to P6 in the Merc, Mr. Bumcrack P7 in a Merc, Boy Begum in the F-Type, again having been relegated in that incident that we couldn't catch while we were looking at Mr. Bumcrack's incident, but he was down to last place as well, so good recovery drive there. D. Reed and a Vet in P9, Danico in a AMG P10, Renegade also AMG P11, Aussie Sim Racing P12 in the AMG, and Giffo in the F-Type in P13. So your thoughts on the race, Carbon?
Well, just when you thought it was going to be a Black Rose Racing lockout on the top 2 spots of the podium, things kicked off, and the proverbial hit the fan. So it might be interesting to see if there are any stewards' reports or what happens there. I don't know exactly. I got to admit, I was any predictions I had on what was going to happen in that race were completely well off the mark. And I think that's more of a reflection on how good these guys are at tuning and driving than my knowledge, which is questionable at best. So that I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I was very thoroughly entertained, and I hope everyone watching was as well.
Yeah, definitely the Black Rose cars, they impress across both those races, the drivers, but also the way they actually managed their car to give them plenty to fight with at the end. But we also, we've seen the vets do that, but we've also seen a lot of drivers who were slightly compromised in that first race adapt, as we went into the afternoon. They've adapted, and they certainly gave themselves enough tire at the end to fight like they did with those positions. So, really good race. Your driver of the day for Category 1 Group B. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, driver of the day. Based off both races, I'm gonna sling one to Wardo.
Yep.
From Dazn Racing. I thought he put in a very, very consistent performance. He didn't have like the blistering pace in qualifying, but he had very solid and consistent lap times in the race and very consistent results. So, I mean, it wasn't like a blindingly bright performance, but it was just, solid. I can't fault it. So definitely that's my thoughts for driver of the day.
Yeah, look, we've got a couple of nominations in the chat. We've got nomination for Warbo. We've got Kiwi Matt. Look, I've got to give my vote to Warbo as well. New to Sector 1, come through the Invitational Community Series, or had a couple of races in that last year, but the way he turned his time management around, he was good in the first race, but at the halfway mark, he was one of only 3 that had 80% tyre left, and he used it to his advantage, to not only fight for P2, but to hold it on a rapidly closing pack. So for me, I vote with you, and Warbo, driver of the day, Category 1 Group B in the sprint round. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we'll do, we will throw to an intermission. We have to get the group Category 1A drivers rounded up and get them into a lobby, and we will be back shortly, and hopefully before the intro runs out. So go and grab a drink, grab some popcorn, do whatever you need to do, but be back here because 1A will turn it on big time.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1. We are here tonight for some Category 1 racing action around Palisades Village.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid.
We are back, everyone. Just bear with us for a couple of minutes. We do have one driver we're just trying to locate and another one just restarting the electronics. Just had a bit of difficulty with Carbon running RD for both races or both categories tonight. We did have to set up a separate lobby to where everyone was practicing. So it's just caused a couple of joining incidents.
While we are doing shout outs, I would love to do a shout out to my beautiful wife, Nina. Today is actually our second wedding anniversary. So massive shout out to her for being so accommodating in allowing me to do back-to-back race directing this evening rather than being with her. I did take her out for lunch today, so don't despair. I didn't completely abandon her. I'm not that stupid or willing to die, because I know that would be a very shortcut to a quick death. So yes, definitely love to say thank you very much to her for being so understanding and accommodating of this hobby that we all love and enjoy. Now, we do have 13 drivers on the grid tonight. At the moment, we are still waiting. I'm trying to locate one of my teammates, Mr. Lenosis. I haven't seen him anywhere in the pit lane tonight. I have seen Ricky Bobby with his beautiful blue wheels. But I guess we can run through that. There are a couple of substitutions tonight for Zero Turn Racing. Mr. Captain Muffin is going to be replaced by his Category 2 teammate, Mr. Cruisin', for team points tonight. And for the Brocky Sim Racing 05 team, Mr. Sways is unfortunately absent tonight. So Mr. Wartime is going to be stepping up for team points. So Deborah Fish, I hope you are still watching the stream tonight and are tuned into the chat to see your boy stepping up into the premier category here at Sector 1 to see how he can hold his own. I certainly hope he does very, very well. Holds his head up high. We did have some electronic issues with Mr. GTR, but he is back on the grid. And no word from Lenosis at this stage. So I'm kind of thinking that we are just going to have to kick off because it is 8 o'clock. So we need to keep to schedule.
Just give me 1 second. I just got to change 2 settings in here. And one more. Okay, good to go on the studio end of things. So I think, look, the race format, identical to what we saw in the Group B race. So I think we should get straight into Cat 1 Group A, brought to you by APR Automotive. Carbon, if you can hit that button, we will get probably underway.
I will smack that button. I would dearly love to tell you all who has been sufficiently quick in practice, but unfortunately doing the back-to-back race directing is I don't get to host a practice lobby for these guys. I've gone straight from one race to another, so I can't tell you. I mean, there are going to be the usual suspects. You're going to have Geesh from CP in that SLS Mercedes. Sorry, the SLS AMG. Also, probably fair to say we're going to have a Brocky 05 up the top. We're going to have a GTR. And I actually honestly think like a dark horse in all of this is going to be Mr. Tim Durags in the Blacklight Motorsport Jaguar. We saw him have an absolutely stellar comeback performance in round 1, which we've done a little bit of tweaking with the groups here in in Category 1. We've just had to adjust some driver positions to pop them where they are probably more suited to be racing. So I'm actually genuinely keen to see how he goes tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also too the fill-in drivers. Wartime is not a slouch. He's been driving really well, you know. And coming up into this division, this is where you learn your racecraft and your speed, but also cruising. He is a very, very handy driver, and if he's got the right car under him, I think we'll see him certainly influence the results somewhat. And yeah, you can't GTR, Mountain Goat, Ricky Bobby, Artsy. Yeah, it's a huge field. Sneaky Stevo was really good in the first race. Yeah, I just think we're going to see some absolute throwdown qualifying times here. 51s will be the norm, and even seeing that if the track conditions allow, it's a little bit different to the first race we had. But if track conditions allow it, we're definitely going to see some smart times.
Just like to say a big thank you in the YouTube chat for Bianca Damp. Says, great comms, boys. Great comms, chaps. So thank you very much for the support.
It's definitely not our day job, but we try.
I've just had some word, not via the APR. Oh, hello, Mr. Artsy's got a 1 second penalty
on his first flyer too.
How do you get a 1 second penalty in the first sector?
Cutting
How do you do that?
Cutting the first left off the straight. Yeah, first left off the straight. If you cut that, and also the next left if you got two wheels inside the white line.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But as I was saying, I just had word chat from I believe it is Lenosis's a partner that he is going to be joining very, very shortly. He's had a bit of a long drive to get home. Unfortunately, he has missed a qualifying, so...
Yeah, if he can get in, he can be on the back of the grid on race one, yeah.
If he can get into the lobby, I will get him onto the grid. I mean, he is my teammate, but I do have to put him on the back. Sorry for that, but at least he can get in there and get himself a better starting position for race 2.
Yeah, so technically first car on the track is Brocchio 5. This will definitely be a quick time. This is his first flyer, so we'll just stay on these and see how we go. And in close succession, there's 4 or 5 other drivers here that will certainly be talking business. What will it be? 51-4 straight off the bat. And Sneaky Steve just only 2 tenths behind.
All right, GDR with a 51-3, and I'm just looking on board with G here as he's coming down the main straight. I think we're going to see a 50.
Yep.
Oh, so close.
So very close.
A 51-1-1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see 50 here, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. It's going to happen. Although, full credit, Sneaky Stevo, 51-6 in P4.
Yeah.
640. Mountain Goat, 671 for P5. Then Dale Teeks with a 967.
Yeah.
This is... We've got 6 drivers already sub 52, just on the first flyer.
Yep. Yep. So they definitely are the goats of Sector 1. These guys. And I've always tried to measure my speed. That if I could be within a second of them on certain tracks, you were going well. But I think they're a second and a tiny little bit more.
I'm just going to go with if I can get within 3 seconds of them on this lap, on this track, I'll be happy. But yes, it's looking very, very rapid up the top at the moment. We've got Geesh with a 51-1, GDR with a 51-3, Brocky dropping it into the pits.
I think we'll see
along with
these
Dale
guys.
Teeks.
Yeah, we'll see all these guys. Yeah, GDR's in. I'm sure Geesh will follow as he comes around towards the pit entrance. Yeah.
See, I think I might follow Boy Bagum's qualifying strategy. I'm just going to run the full 10 minutes on the tyre and be done with it.
Yeah, I think if you get an absolute banker in that first outlap like these guys have done, there's not so much pressure on that next flying lap. That if you make a mistake, you've already got one in the bank. If you haven't got one in the bank, yeah, you probably do you stay out? Do you try knock that time down, or at least get a banker? But yeah. It's a hard call. I must admit, before tonight, I had envisaged doing what Boybegum did and just run the whole session.
You know, a one times tyre wear and a 1 times fuel burn, it to me, that doesn't scream do a pit stop in 10 minutes. But then again, I'm not doing low 51s, so...
Let's jump on board with Tim DeRags. He followed the guys into the pits, very low 52. I think you'll see Tim definitely drop into the ones here, and same with Ricky Bobby just ahead. Like they're only a couple of tenths out of it.
A lot of guys on their outlaps here.
Yeah, so certainly be jumping on board with Jish for his first flyer, and it'll be really interesting to see what he does. Pressure's on. And can the other guys, like, we say Jish of 51.1, there's only 2 tenths across the podium, basically. Maybe 3 tenths.
Just trying to do a bit of a shout out here for Wartime. Currently sitting in P9.
9, yeah, a 53.3. Yeah, that's a really good time.
He's normally races in Category 2B, so he's stepped up 3 groups above where he normally runs. All right, so for next week, I'm looking at his lap time now, and it's like, right, I have to beat that, or I am in some serious trouble.
Yeah, I've got to say the wind direction's been friendly to us tonight with the back section of the track in all of the races to date. I have seen a massive headwind down that back straight that kills lap times. That's Jesus about to start his flyer, so we'll just stay on board. He's got a fair bit of room to the car in front, so I don't see him a little bit sideways there over the top, but he just kept the throttle nailed. I don't think anyone in front's going to cause any grief to his lap. Just almost drifting that in.
Just had some comms over the APR radio. Lenosis is in the pits.
Perfect.
Unfortunately, he's in the pits and he's not on track for qualifying. So, unfortunately, he will be starting from the back of the grid for race 1, which gives me a little bit of a headache in terms of manually for race 1, but that's fine. He's my teammate. Yep. I'm used to the headaches, let's be honest.
Yep. But the good thing about it is you start from the back in race 1, good finish sets you up for race 2. So.
But he is going to be starting race 1.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
That's the important part.
That's where the points are. Yeah, so Jish is just, he is within, 900ths of his previous lap time. So what can he do in this last sector? He's not going to get another lap in, so this one will be his final, where the boys in front would have another lap.
Yep. So G's
Goaty's just dropped to 50.
Oh, bang!
A 150.
There we go. Mountain goat.
872.
Holy! Zero-turn driver has pulled an absolute clutch lap.
And Jish was flatlining with his previous lap. Couldn't improve. Yeah, Goaty for a young bloke, he's an absolute gangster when he does stuff like that. That is unbelievable.
Oh, that's cheeky from the young fella there. That's some serious gamesmanship. I love it.
Yeah, and in a vet, I believe.
Yes, he has in the zero-turn motorsport Corvette. has dropped in a 150.872. So there's our sub 151, and I reckon even G going, what the actual blubber was that?
Where is, I think we should.
Oh, hang on, hold up. We've got Brocky,
Brocky
still on
going.
a flyer.
And I think it's Sneaky Steve-O behind him.
He's got Dale Teeks in front of him. Oh, he's 2 and a bit tenths down. I think Sneaky Steve-O's up on his best time. So he could be in with a chance of beating Brocky here. He's 2 tenths down on Brocky's qualifying time at the moment. But if he can absolutely nail this last sector, he might just get himself up into P4 for the starting position of race 1.
Such a long track.
Gotta say, I missed the original trial mountain. The final chicane where you could just launch the car to the stratosphere.
Yeah.
No, Sneaky Steve-O is not going to improve. Seconds down, unfortunately. But that is our qualifying session completely run and done.
All right, just get the results up for everyone. Okay, with an absolute stonking final lap, Mountain Goat has put the vet on pole position with a 150.872. Yeah, just an astonishing time. But that said, look at the gap back in the first sixes. Just on a second, we've got Distinct Geesh in P2 in the Merc, 0.239 back. Third place on the podium in the third manufacturer in the Jag, 0.498 back is GDR, then followed by Brocky 05 in the Merc, Sneaky Steve-O in the F-Type, in P6 Ricky Bobby, Dale Tex in P7, Tim DeRags in P8, and look against some of the aliens. I mean, these guys are in 151 nines, 152 ones, absolute great times. And then you have someone like Goatee and Geesh, and wow. But E-Bulk in the Aston at 153 flat. Then we have P10 Thunder Artsy, Wartime in P11. Great qualifying session there. Makes it a bit scary next week for us. Heafy in P12 and Cruisin' in P13 with a 55.6 in the vet. So that is how qualifying was written. Unbelievable. Your thoughts, Carbon?
My thoughts are, at the moment, I need to set the grid manually. So unfortunately,
absolutely,
my thoughts are kind of obscure at the moment.
All over
so
the place.
I'm sorry I can't be much help.
Well, what I'll do is that I will throw to a quick slideshow just to give Carbon the time to do that, and we will be back, I reckon, in about 2 minutes. All right, we're back and it's race time. So let's get into Cat 1 Group A, brought to you by APR Automotive. Drivers are lined up. The grid as per qualifying, with Lenocious missing qualifying but gets the start at the rear of the grid, so he gets his full 2 sprint races in. So Carbon, I reckon we can get these guys underway. I'm sure they'd be frothing for this, and
more than happy to punch that button. I am very, very keen to see this race, especially after seeing young Mountain Goat absolutely smash that 51-second barrier in the dying moments of qualifying. And I'm even happier to see both of my APR teammates in the race tonight. So I got to say, hashtag no bias, but I do wish my APR boys the best of luck, especially Lenosis, starting from the rear of the grid tonight. So good luck to everybody.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to Goaty manhandling this bet over 20 minutes, so I could learn something. I'm sure I can. I can learn lots.
I've been learning a lot tonight, and that is how much lower than I am than these.
All right, we've got everyone on the grid. That should be on the telecast. Lights are about to fire up. 2 lights, 3, 4, 5 lights, and they're off. Very clean start by everyone. I think Goaty will have the jump on. Geesh. Oh no, it's Jesus. He's really capitalised on that, and he has the inside running for turn 1. And quick cut across Goaty's bows there, or bow. Talking aircraft carriers. Oh, we've had turnaround. I think that's GTR has spun in the tunnel.
That's not good. Well, GTR has come an absolute cropper in the tunnel.
Just see if we can.
Unfortunately, that's not going to be either a safety car or a red flag situation, as their vehicle involved.
Yeah, it looks like he's just. It was hard to say from the replay. Again, it's not quick enough at times on that replay bit, but it seems like the nose just caught the inside curb there.
Cold tyres, over enthusiasm, inside curb equals bad time.
Yeah. I don't think it was assisted, but get back to the front. Through that chaos there, Goaty's managed to just get a run on Geesh, and probably on the straight, I'd say, in some stream, but we did miss that looking at the replay. But definitely back into P1 after starting on pole.
There is a hot little pack here with P3, P4, P5 with Ricky Bobby, Dale Teagues and Sneaky Stevo. And they're just trying to break away. Well, it's actually it's a 6-car train, to be honest. You got Ricky Bobby P3, Dale Teagues P4, Sneaky Stevo P5, Tim Durags P6, E-Bulk P7, and then Artsy P8. A little bit of a gap back to Brocky in P9, which is kind of not where I thought I would see him, but he's got Lenosis hot on his heels in P10 and Heafy P11.
And again, that was something.
So,
you know, with the replays and watching the thing, I didn't actually see what happened to Brocky there. So,
no, because from memory, Brocky started up in P4.
Yeah, so look, only an assumption. Just with GTR spinning, there just may have been, he's been checked up a little bit there, and because they were 4 cars wide on exit out of the tunnel after that.
I'd say that is a definite possibility, because GDR started P3, Brocky was P4. So if GDR's had a moment, that would more than likely cause some problems for Brocky.
Yeah,
and if one driver gets checked up to not completely murder someone, that does provide an opportunity for drivers behind them to just, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Swamped. Yeah, he gets swamped. Mountain Goat down the straight that time. He was about 6 tenths up, which is while it's just in slipstream range, gives you a little bit of defensive capability. So we'll check back on that battle as they approach the back straight. Next time round, we'll have a look at Tim DeRags. He's only 5. He's part of this, what looks like an 8-car battle train here, battle pack. But yeah, he's only 3/10 of Sneaky Stevo, but he has been improving to get to that position, and I'm pretty sure he started in 8th as well. And that will go back to Artsy, who's got a very, very rapid Brock Air 5 on his back bumper there, and also a bit wide out in the grass, but switch back to the inside, and he's got Artsy there in the tunnel, and he should be able to hold this on exit, and he's got the inside line for the right-hander.
So hashtag no bias, just keeping an eye on my boy Ricky Bobby, currently sitting in P3. He does have a 2-second gap to Godey and Geesh in front of him, but he has been able to establish a half-second gap back to Dale Teeks and Sneaky Stevo in P4, P5 behind him. And while those two do seem more intent on battling with each other than working together, at the moment, that could work out to Ricky Bobby's advantage. However, if those two decide to settle their differences and work together, that could prove problematic for my boy. But at the same time, you've also got Tim DeRags in P6. So in the Blacklight Jaguar, basically right on the back of Sneaky Stevo, who's just gone. He's done his best John Deere impersonation playing lawnmower mode.
Yeah, just a bit of a bobble there, but he is really quick in that Gemco car.
So this 4-5-6 battle is definitely worth keeping an eye on at the same time. And we've got, I think, the lone Aston Martin on the grid tonight of E-Bulk for Hyperdrive Sim Sports in a P7. Coming under fire from Brocky in P8 at the moment.
Yeah, on board with Tim, you can hear that every bit of that mechanical
as
grip.
Brocky sends it down the inside through the first tunnel, gets the move done as nicely as you please. But yes, the here we go. Heafy is currently carrying a 1-second penalty, so like his team owner in qualifying, the Thunder boys are being a bit naughty through that first sector, cutting a bit too much of the track limits. But yes, the Hyperdrive,
Yeah, I think
Hyperdrive
Tim
team is
they're working together.
lone
here.
Aston Martin on the grid tonight.
Yeah, just between Tim DeRags and Sneaky Stevo, a bit of help down the straight. So I'm pretty sure they're intent on getting up with the battle pack.
Rightio. So Tim
that was
DeRags
Ricky
is
Bobby, I think, just put a move down on Dale Tech. He's pulled out of it.
Dale Teeks is actually in the last lap or so made his way past Ricky Bobby, because Ricky Bobby was in P3 not that long ago. So the Kraken Esports driver definitely making his intentions known early on. Just having a look through the field.
I've just run up the front. Goatee is less than 3/10 between Mountain Goat and Distinct Geesh, and this has got the hallmark for this being a battle like this for the entire 20 minutes.
100%. I was just having a look through the field there, and I was just checking to see who is and who isn't running traction control. And I'm intrigued to report that the only driver running traction control is the same driver who convinced me to swallow my ego and give it teammate Ricky Bobby, currently in P4. Everyone else is running it as loose as a goose. So that might come back to bite them a little bit later on.
Yeah, although these guys have got the skill level to handle it.
100%. They are monumentally better drivers than I am.
So there's a bit of a buffer now between Tim DeRags and Sneaky Stevo, almost a second out each way. I think the big mover here, and certainly on his fastest lap of the race, is Brocchio 5. So we'll just keep an eye on that gap over the next half a lap or so and see if he can reduce it to under that 1 second deficit. But yeah, Ricky, Bobby and Daltex certainly haven't finished their business for the last step on the podium so far. And they're 3 seconds adrift of P1, P2.
A little bit of a gap forming between Ricky Bobby P4, Sneaky Stevo P5. Brocky in Mr. Cyborg, Mr. 6-time, as a certain Golden Mike would say. Currently sitting in P7, is on the comeback after getting checked up a little bit on the first lap, it would seem, to be confirmed. But he is definitely closing back in on the rear of the Blacklight Motorsports Jaguar of Tim DeRags.
And Tim, as you said,
we are at the halfway mark of this race, so I think it would probably be a good time to kick off to an APR tire and fuel update.
Absolutely.
The action of this race has been so enthralling so far that I lost track of time, and it was only looking at the timer then, it was like, oh, right, we should probably do this. Right, so currently P1 track, and as per usual, a front right tyre, because that's all that matters. And managing it quite well in that Corvette is Mr. Goatee for zero turn. He's got about 80-something% left on that front right.
Yeah.
Yes, he is doing fantastically with tyre wear. Although he does have a new rear bump sticker in the form of a CP Motorsports AMG SLS, belonging to none other than Geesh, who is pretty much... Oh, hello, we have had a CPU failure from Thunder Motorsports. Heafy has...
left the building?
The car has self-destructed. So, not quite sure what's happened there. But Geesh is fairly identical to Goatee on tyres and fuels, so it's a fairly even battle between the two up the front, despite the fact that they are running very different machines and, I'm going to have a guess, very different tunes. A couple of seconds back is Dale Teeks in the Kraken Esports SLS, and well, that car is suffering a little bit in terms of front right tyre wear. He's probably got about 60% left on that front right. My boy Ricky Bobby is hammering that front right a little bit harder. He is 50% on that front right. Sneaky Stevo is a little bit under 50% on that front right, so he could be in some serious trouble in a couple of minutes time in this race. He's got a Brocky 1.2 seconds behind him, who is about 60% left on that front right. And he is joined in hot pursuit by Tim DeRags in P7, who is pretty much 50% left on that front right. And then we've got Aston Martin, number 1 of Ebop, who is just under 50% left on that front right, with my boy Lenosis in P9, who is just over 50% on that front right after starting from the back of the grid. So very, very solid performance. And we've got P10, the Thunder TO, Mr. RT, who is about 40% left on that front right, coming under fire from a hard-charging recovery drive a GTR, who has about 30% left on that front right, but having seen him drive in seasons past, he'll make it work. You've got Cruisin in the zero-turn Corvette, filling in for Captain Muffin in a P12. He is having a hard time, actually. He's probably only got about 15% left on that front right, so, and a little bit of damage on that front bumper, so he's going to have a bad time in about 3 or 4 minutes' time. And then we've got Wartime in P13, filling in for Sways for BSR. He's doing fairly well in terms of tyre wear. He's got about 60% left on that front right. And unfortunately, our DNF driver, Mr. Heafy, for the Thunder team, I don't know about the tyres, but I'm pretty sure the electronics in that car have 0% left.
Yep, no, thank you for that, Carbon, and thank you, APR Automotive, for the tyre and fuel update. But, I mean, it's amazing some of the variances between the tyres, but even between cars in the same team. It's just, and it also shows that when you're trying to come through from the back, you know, with that aero wash that stresses your tyres with requiring extra turn in and just having to drive harder, you know, some of those guys at the back are really... Yeah, so in some cases, nearly half of the guys up in front that have got a bit of clean air. So, yeah, amazing tail of the tape, that.
100% on that. I mean, you've got both of my boys, Lenosis and Ricky Bobby. We drive the same car, but they have slightly different setups based on what they as drivers prefer in the car. And at this point, there's probably a little bit over 5% difference in terms of tyre wear.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much everyone is bang on identical in terms of fuel usage. Like, that's not a problem. But it's the tyre wear that is the big decider, I think, in this sprint race format.
Yeah, and
because you've got at the moment the fastest lap is held by Geesh, which is a 152.249,
1/10 that,
and currently the fastest lap from our race leader Mountain Goat is a 52.3. But at the moment, Goaty's laps have been a 52.6, 52.3, 52.6, 52.8, 52.8, 52.6, 52.6. That is some stupidly consistent lap times.
Oh, absolutely.
And he is joined by Geesh. Basically, that CP Mercedes is a new sponsor bumper sticker on that zero-turn Corvette at the moment. He's got a 52.5, 52.2, 52.4, 52.9, 52.8, 52.7, 52.5, sorry. It's just metronome levels of performance from these two guys.
Yeah, talking about a strong
drive.
Sorry, mate.
I do get the feeling that this season is going to be a head-to-head battle between these two.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, with 2 laps to go, starting their 10th lap, 2 laps to go, no idea out of those two who can win it. So we'll go back on to them. I just wanted to call out Brocchio 5 here. He's used a bit of his car to do it, but he's now up to P5. It was P8 before we went into the tyre and fuel update. And he was basically back to nearly the back of the pack after that incident in the tunnel, or that he may have got caught up in. So great recovery drive there. Ricky Bobby in P4 is starting to make some inroads on Daltex for the final slot on the podium, and being less than a second away, anything is possible there. But yeah, this battle up the front, it's just too tense. It's been like this for lap after lap. Who's going to crack? Who's going to make the move? I mean, the vet is wide. It's hard to get around, and you've got a brilliant driver like Goaty in there. This is the next lap is when it's going to happen, but Where will Gish have a go? Where will he try it? Does it give Goaty time in the remainder of a lap to have a crack back at first if Gish gets through?
I think Gish might be happy to just let Goaty have this. Like he'll just sit back at this point and not take unnecessary risks, because he knows, worst case scenario, if he just sits back, he's going to start P2 for race 2.
Yeah, and
I was looking at the tyre differential between, at the moment, Dale Teeks and Ricky Bobby are pretty much exactly the same in terms of tyre wear. There's only, 0.6 between them. There's 1.6 between Ricky Bobby and Brocky, and there is there's easily 10% tyre difference between Brocky and Ricky Bobby. But unfortunately, I think the being an 11-lap race, I don't think that's going to be enough time for Brocky to bring back 1.6 seconds. So I think Ricky Bobby might be able to apply some pressure to Dale Teeks.
Well, here we go as we turn on the back straight. You're seeing it from Gish's eyes. Really tight line through. There's a little bit of sideways from Mountain Goat. That could compromise his speed. He's made a little bit of a move to try and break the slipstream. Gish is following him. But yeah, this next sector, if he is going to do it, this is where it's at. 287, 288. I think that's that's probably one of the fastest times we've seen, speeds we've seen down the straight. So nothing.
I think we've just broken the radar gun.
Yeah.
Straight here at Trial Mountain.
Yep. So down to pretty much the last series of corners.
The Highway Patrol have got their radar guns out.
So will there be an inside move here at the 90-degree left-hander? Just having a look. There is potential for a switchback here.
Goaty has him well covered there.
Yeah.
He's very defensive.
Right in the slipstream.
Oh, hello. Gish is seeing what it's worth.
Goaty what a drive. Up from both these drivers to race that close.
Gish
we'll quickly get back to
Gish has definitely made him earn it.
Dale Tex, Ricky Bobby, Brocky in P5. We'll get back on to Sneaky Stevo, Tim DeRags. Great drive from those guys, or great drive from the field. There's the Aston, P8. GTR had recovered up to P9. Lenosis P10. Who we got behind? Artsy and Wartime doing a sensational job filling in this category, this level of drivers. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, that was quite amazing. We'll get to the results and.
Look, I reckon we're in for an absolute cracker here in race 2.
Yeah, it's.
I do feel that a couple of drivers were, well, obviously we had a couple of little incidents where drivers were put out of position from where they should possibly be.
Yeah,
but also I think I did suspect that there were a couple of drivers just sort of pulling their punches a little bit in the later stages of that race, just knowing that it is a 2-race sprint.
Yeah, and getting into the full points for the second race too. That's the money race.
100%.
Yeah, Cat 1A, race 1 results. The first 20-minute sprint. Mountain Goat in P1 with fastest lap just slightly over P2, Gish at a 1:52.35. P2 Gish, to see them race as tight as that for a number of laps and give each other that, the racecraft to keep each other racing competitively, giving them room. That was really good to see. Something that we all aspire to. Daltex got the third step on the podium. also in an AMG. Ricky Bobby, P4, P5 for Brocchio 5, who got checked up early and has fought his way back. I'm pretty sure it's from 9th or 10th, which is not easy in this field. Sneaky Steve Arm P6, Tim Durags P7, Evolk in P8 in the Lone Vantage in the race. GTR fought his way back to 9, had to use a bit of his car to do that, but he was in dead last place on lap 1. Lenosis in P10, Artsy P11, Wartime P12, and Cruisin P13. Heapy with a DNF, and call out to Wartime and Cruisin, who are both filling in this high caliber field. So, yeah, your thoughts on the race, mate?
I'm a little bit stunned, actually. I was not expecting a lot of what happened. I am slightly distracted at the moment, just trying to work out whether Heafy is going to be joining us back on the grid at the moment.
Well, what we'll do,
trying
guys,
to...
we will put our sponsors up and we'll throw to a short intermission just so we can get the grand final of tonight underway. So if you just bear with us for 2 or 3 minutes, we will have the drivers lined up and ready to go for everyone. Time for a drink, popcorn, and a walk of nature if needed.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1. We are here tonight for some Category 1 racing action around Alsace Village.
Let's go.
Graham, we're good.
All right, guys, apologies. We have some sound issues, but I think it's been rectified, and I don't know how, but we are on our way. So I don't know if you heard it before, but we will be straight into race 2, Group A, brought to you by APR Automotive. The good news is Heafy is back, and he will get to start at the rear of the grid, but still participate in points. So Carbon had enough delays with some technical issues. Let's get into this, and we will get the race.
Yep, that button has been smashed. We are good to go. So apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I am a little rusty at being a race director. There's a couple of the settings I needed to tweak. But we are here and everybody is on the grid.
We've got 5 lights. And they're out and they're racing. And that was a great little start by Jish. Again on the inside here. So he's could hold Mountain Goat off for the first corner. And that he does. He'll still hold the inside. Oh,
Brocky's on the grass. There's eagle there. Oh,
and another one on the grass.
Oh, that has a flow-on effect for the guys behind him. Rags makes his way to P4.
But they're both. I'm not sure who that second driver was, but he's managed to hold it on the approach to the tunnel and not crash. So this is a position that Brocky will be looking for to have a crack at running at the pace that Jish and Mountain Goat set in that first race. And Tim DeRague's up there too, showing his true outright speed. For those that remember, I think it was the Cat B race last week, he came from dead last to 4th, I think it was, or thereabouts. But so down the back straight, just saw it in the background there when we were on Brocky, but Mountain Goat got past into the left-hander at the end of the straight. I don't want to take my eyes off the battle. It's hard enough as it is using ABS, but you're trying to find where the fights are, and it's too easy to miss stuff. But these guys...
It's fairly solid up the front at the moment, in that top 5. It's down the back where things are getting pretty spicy. Mr. GDR has got himself back into P6 and he's looking to skip away from that secondary pack, so to speak, which consists of a Dale Teeks, an E-Bulk, and then we've got Artsy and Lenosis, who had a bit of a moment through the second tunnel section of the first lap there, which dropped him back a couple of spots, back into P10. So he's going to be working his butt off to get back inside of the top 10 tonight.
Yeah, and...
because he's got a cruisin' right behind him, along with a sneaky Steve-O.
Putting a lot of pressure on, and we saw from the first race just how close this is. But the good part is GDR's got about a 1.5 second clear air in front of him, so I reckon he'll be on the back of Ricky Bobby and Tim DeRague's fairly soon, without the hassles of aero wash and pushing the tyres too hard. Yeah, this is really interesting to see these top 3 like this, but also the calibre of Ricky Bobby and Tim DeRague's GDR within basically a second of this pack. And Mountain Goat was a little bit loose there on exit.
I mean, to be honest, this was something I've been looking forward to in the lead up to this season. Was we've got a Mountain Goat, we've got a Jish, we've got a Brocky, and lurking in the wings back in P6 at the moment, but still in the same sentence as the top 3 is Mr. GTR. So we've got multiple championship winners right here. Like all of these 4 drivers have you've got Goat, you've got Jish, Brocky, GDR.
I reckon
If
there's
I
got
were
to
to
be
count,
over 11 between these 4 drivers.
well, Brocky's missed a 6 time.
6 time.
Godey's got 2, Geisha's got 2, GDR's got 2, so I reckon there's a dozen championships between those 4 drivers.
And they're all putting it on for us tonight in the final. What have we got? 15 and a half minutes left.
And not to downplay any of the drivers in amongst them, like the caliber of Ricky Bobby and Tim Durags, as well as Dale Teagues, who's only been around a couple of seasons, as well as, well, Tim Durags has been around.
Oh, a move
Test my
GTR
memory here.
on Daltex here. GTR's got the inside line, but has he got enough? Oh, he's worked the overlap. Can he turn it? That was a big move here, because remember I said that GDR's picked up 1.5 seconds just over a lap. And Daltec's last lap time wasn't shabby at 1:52 either.
So looking back in P9 and P10, it's a hot battle here with my boy Lenosis sending it up the inside of RC into the final chicane. Gets the job done, puts himself up into P9. He ended up behind RC after the first lap, after probably a slow start and a bit of a mishap on lap 1. That's probably hampered his progress in this round, but he's gotten back out in front.
A little bit wide on that first start. He's had 2 bites at the corner.
Both the APR and the Thunder Boys into the Jaguar car, and both of them getting very, very low through that first sector. But Lenosis being able to churn out a second over RC in that first sector.
Yeah, so 5 tenths between first and third, and less than 2.5 seconds from fifth to first, and we're at about the 1/3 mark of the race.
I think Tim Durags might just be looking to try and tack back on the back of Ricky Bobby here. He knows he's well clear of GDR. Well, it was 2 seconds, but that gap is slowly coming down, so I'll keep an eye on that gap between Tim Durags and GDR. But I think Tim Durags knows he just wants to try and tack back onto the back of Ricky Bobby. They're both in the Jag, so they've got a similar vehicle, different tune, but similar car.
Yep, and Deborah in the chats, go get
Oh,
him.
there we go. Hang on. Ricky Mountain Goats back down to P3. There is a hot battle up here in the top 3. Sorry, I just saw Mountain Goat drop back to P3 with Brocky, and something's going on there.
I think just a little bit
I
wide,
think Mountain
but,
Goats had a horror moment in the last sector of that last lap, and that has allowed Geesh to slip into the top position.
Just see if we've got a replay on that. Yeah, he's just gone a little bit wide there on the grass, which compromised his run down the hill.
And that's how it is here in Category 1A. One slight error can cost you a sheep station and half an emu farm.
And it was
That is
such a small error, but tenths of tenths in this game here with these guys.
100%, but he is 300ths purple at the moment, so he's looking to make that back up. And it's actually brilliant to watch right now, because you've got Godey, who was a BSR driver for the last 2 seasons, currently on the hunt by his former team owner on track. So while I'm sure that there is respect between the two guys,
look at the run on the bet coming down the straight.
Oh, there we go.
Huge slipstream.
Godey with a young confidence, and Geesh with a switchback says, "Nah, mate, not today." Or just gonna hold up
great
breath
racing
for this bit.
Great racing. Look at Brocky in there. He's going to pick up any spills here. And Jesus somehow done that. I don't know how, but kudos to these guys racing like that.
Oh, that is terrifying.
But I can tell you what, Jesus made a mental note about how he's going to drive that last straight on the last lap if they're like this. Because that slipstream with the vet, incredible.
Goody very actively trying to break the slipstream for his former team owner behind him. Former team owner, the current competitor.
Well and truly into it as well. Well, we're 9:44 and we're on car 1. Time for tyre and fuel update. Let's see where the marbles are rolling here. Brought to you by APR Automotive.
Rightio, probably a fantastic idea. So in terms of fuel, everyone's around the same at about 80-something% fuel, so we're not even going to worry about that. Your front right-hand tyre, Mr. Geesh probably has about 85% remaining. Mr. Goatee in the Corvette, surprisingly, probably has about a couple of percent more. So wow. Goatee's doing better on the front right tyre than Geesh.
He has had the clean
Mr.
air.
Brocky in P3 is suffering a little bit in terms of tyre wear. He's probably down to about 65% left on that front right-hand tyre, and that is showing with that gap coming down to Ricky Bobby behind him, who probably has about 70% left on that front right tyre. Mr. Ricky Bobby has managed to pull out a 1.5 second gap back to Tim Durags, who is only a couple of percent down on him. Sorry, words are hard. In terms of tyre wear, but Tim Durags has probably got about 60% left on that front right-hand tyre. And we've got Mr. Dale Teagues back in P6, currently with a GPR as a extra bumper sticker on the back of that Kraken Esports AMG. He's probably looking at about 65% left on that tyre. GDR is probably an even 50% left on that front right-hand tyre on the Blacklight Jaguar. Then there's a bit of a 4-second gap back to E-Bulk in P8. He's a little bit under 50% left on that front right-hand tyre as he feathers the throttle through that left-hand first tunnel section. And a little bit more of a gap back to Sneaky Stevo in P9, who is carrying a half-second penalty for being a bit of a naughty through that first sector. He's about 55% left on that front right-hand tyre, with my boy Lenosis on about 60% left on the front right. Still in hot pursuit by Artsy, with about 45% left on that front right-hand tyre. Mr. Wartime doing a brilliant job of filling in tonight, currently sitting in a P12 with about 65% left on that front right tyre. Mr. Cruisin in a P13 he's going to have a bad time very, very soon. He's got about 35-40% left on that front right. And Heafy not having a brilliant night tonight. He's bang on 50% worn on that front right tyre.
Oh, thank you for that, and thank you APR Automotive for the tyre and fuel update. It's the cars in the bottom third of the field. I just think it's through the racing, but they're really struggling on their tyres compared to the front runners. But geez, those numbers you read out for the top 5, pretty impressive considering there's only tenths between them. That's probably the biggest gap we've seen for a while now, with 4 to 5 tenths out. Brocky 05 is hanging in there, as is Ricky Bobby. That gap back to him's just fallen out a little bit to 1.2 seconds, so about 6 tenths worse off while we were doing the tyre and fuel update. But still well and truly, and with Tim Durags and the 2 or 3 drivers behind on lap 8, 3 full laps to go, well and truly in contention for a podium spot if there's any mistakes made up front. change. Yeah,
It's definitely been an eye opener between the top 5 and the rest of the field in terms of tyre wear. I mean, at the moment you've got Mountain Goats basically is a secondary sponsor sticker on the back of the CP Motorsports car. The tyre wear between him and Geesh is, well, actually Mountain Goat's got a couple of percent up on Geesh in terms of tyre wear. So ironically, Goaty in the Corvette has the tyre advantage over Geesh in the Mercedes. So not something I would have predicted, to be perfectly honest.
No, the Vet is a good car, but it can also bite you if you overdrive. Like if you're overdriving it, it does wear the tyres out. But I'm just wondering, like, this is role reverse to the first race. So you'll go to, you're sitting behind P1, Geesh. There's a few tenths in it. What would you do if you're in his shoes, Gov? Where would you make the pass on what lap?
If I was Goaty, I would 100% wait for the back straight, either on the second last lap or the final lap. Use the power of the Corvette, get a good exit out of the second tunnel onto the back straight, and just sit in the slipstream of Geesh and use the power of the Corvette. But he's a second back at the moment on lap 9.
It's just a bit slower through that last complex of turns, but is that something he's done?
But look at that gap come down now. It's 8 tenths. It's now going to be 7 tenths. So he can claw back 3 tenths of a second
on the straight
very, very easily on that back straight.
And that's really without using slipstream from that distance. You've got to be, 6-7 tenths to really start to get into an effective slipstream. So lap 9, there'll be 2 laps to go after this.
100%.
Yeah, it's a bit like a game of chess.
There's a big tyre differential between the top 2.
Back to
and
P3.
Brocky, actually. So, yep, Geesh and Goaty are sitting at Geesh is at about 45%. Goaty's at about, actually, they're both about 45% front right tyre left. Brocky's having a bit of a hard time. He's probably down to about 25-30% left on that front right.
Yeah, I notice his lap times are creeping into the 53s fairly consistently now. Yeah, how's Ricky Bobby looking? Because he's only a second and a half adrift.
Ricky Bobby's actually looking really good. He currently got the fastest lap of a 152.154, so he's going to pick up an extra point for that. Yeah. And he's also a couple of percent better on the front right than Brocky, who is 2 seconds in front of him at the moment. So
I think
he might be able to make some inroads, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pick up the final step on the podium.
Yeah, just looking at those lap times, he's sort of mirroring the car in front rather than making gains at the moment. But yeah, just while you were talking, he's dropped half a second. So back to the front, 7 tenths, second last lap.
So it's getting pretty feisty back in P9 and P10. We've got Lenosis and Sneaky Steve both in the Jaguar having a crack battle down the back straight.
I think I can. No, I can't.
Sneaky Steve-O looks to the inside, goes, nah, you know what? Oh, hello. Oh, Lenosis runs a little
wide, yeah.
That front right tyre is absolutely burning.
So's orange.
In all honesty, Sneaky Steve-O's not that much better. Oh, it's all getting a little bit trafficky here for P8, P9, P10.
So it looks like E-Bolt might be the loser in this one. Yep, Lenosis just pushed past.
Oh!
around the outside.
Is-
Oh, he's clipped the wall
he's-
there. He's going to lose momentum down the straight.
There was a big touch into the rear quarter of Sneaky Steve-O, but everybody's still facing the right direction.
250.
Oh, we're going side by side through turn one. Lenosis,
that
Sneaky
front
Steve-O,
tyre.
what are you doing? you crazy.
What a switch of position. Lenosis' front tyre was screaming, and Sneaky Steve-O switched into the left-hand side. Actually,
We're
this
into
is
lap
at the front.
11.
Lap 11.
This will be the final race.
So Juice is out to a second. The vet's clawing it back, 10th by 10th, but bit of room under brakes. What can he do here?
Just checking in the back of the field. The zero-turn Corvette of Cruisin' has crossed the line for the checkered flag.
Right.
That front right tyre is completely massacred. He's done Captain Mark.
Godey had a massive moment dropping down into that left-hander, swapping ends everywhere, and again on the grass, but he's managed to hold it, but it's cost him 4/10 there, so Jish has well and truly got this under control, coming onto the start straight now. So roll reversal, great win there by Jish. That bit in the end cost Godey nearly 8/10 of a second. Second place for Godey, third place for Brocky. Great drive there. Ricky Bobby in fourth, Tim Durags in fifth, Dale Tix in sixth, GDR in seventh. Great recovery from adversity in two races from GDR. Sneaky Steve-O across the line and Jamco in P8, followed by Lenosis, APR, Artsy in 10th, E-Bulk in 11th, Heafy coming in 12th, and then on the lead lap, Wartime will round that out in P13. And again, a great race from Wartime and Cruisin' filling in this alien division. But I will just get the results up for the last race of the night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen in the YouTube chat, thank you for sticking with us all the way through here. If you could fire in your Driver of the Day nominations, that would be very much appreciated.
Okay. We'll just quickly go through the race results. P2, Distinct Jish. P1, P2 Mountain Goats. So roll reversal of the first race, but some sensational close racing between these guys, giving respect to each other and driving as true champions. Brocky in third place, Ricky Bobby P4, and Ricky Bobby had fastest lap of the race, 52.1. Tim Durags in P5. Very, very solid drive from these guys. Daltix in P6, GDR P7, Sneaky Steve-O P8, Artsy in P10, E-Bulk P11, Heathy in 12, Wartime 13th, and Cruisin' in 14th. So your thoughts on the race, Carvin?
Look, there were ups, there were downs. Where do you go? Like, from race one, we were obviously going to be within a battle within Jish and Godey for the top step on the podium. It was determined to be that way, but I don't think anyone predicted Ricky Bobby in P4 snatching the fastest lap of the race. So I don't think anyone would have predicted that one. So in terms of a driver of the day, I'm actually going to throw my nomination to Tim Durags. Racing in Category 1B in round one, he made, from memory, an 8-position recovery drive after having a bit of an incident on race in lap one. Made up 8 positions and was determined to have sufficient pace to be very competitive in Category 1A, was moved up to Cat 1A, and here he is finishing P5 in a Cat 1A sprint race, which is certainly no mean feat. So definitely, I'm thinking he is more than worthy of my Driver of the Day nomination tonight.
Yep, and looking in the chat, we've got Driver of the Day, Brocky, Woody in there, just really proud Tio. You know, with Godey's drive tonight. Stickers, Driver of the Day, Tim Durags. I absolutely support Tim Durags' Driver of the Day. For me, it was close between Ricky Bobby and Tim, but to just see how Tim performed in this field, this quality field, no mistakes. Could race close. No, I echo that sentiment. So Driver of the Day, Tim Durags. And I'm sure it'll be a popular vote across
honourable
the
mention to Ricky Bob.
Yeah.
But I do have to try and maintain bias from my teammates.
Yeah, but you also got to look to there. You know, while the Driver of the Day's been done and run, a lot of across both races, you got the likes of Brocky, GDR, Sneaky Stevo, Artsy, those drives back from a bit of adversity that happen in a race. So yeah. Strong performances right across the field, not to mention our two Category 2 B drivers, I think they are, filling in this part of the field as well. So that wraps up our Cat 1 Group A and B round 2, the sprint race round. Congratulations to the podium in both groups tonight. We saw some great racing and racecraft. Thank you, Carbon Boy, for race directing. Really high workload in the sprint rounds, and when you have a few technical issues, I think the OBS program, the update wasn't a really good update, but we'll keep working on those things behind the scene to give you good coverage whenever we can. But also, thank you,
my
Nick.
pleasure. It's actually been it's been nice to be back in the race director's chair as opposed to the streamer's chair.
Oh, it's the best job because you have the freedom to look all over the race, where you can't as a streamer, you drive your audience nuts.
100%. It's a lot more relaxed in certain aspects, but again, it can also be a very high intensity in certain moments. So, thank you to everybody who in Sector 1 who does put their hand up to be a race director. It is very much appreciated. Look, and without our race directors, people don't go racing.
That's right. And thank you, Nina, for letting Carbon Boy do a double stint on the anniversary night. Much appreciated. At least you had brownie points on your fridge. Mine's in overdraft, so I've got to work on that.
I've got work to do, let's be honest.
A big thank you to everyone watching. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Look at the link to Discord, the Sector 1 community in Discord. Get in there if you haven't already. It's a great... both Carbon and I have been around since season 4. It's great camaraderie, and it's a great hobby to have. Great racing. Great platform for racing. And don't forget, support our sponsors who make this possible. So there's more to come from Sector 1. Next Sunday night, we'll be back at Trial Mountain for our Category 2 drivers in the sprint race format. You'll see Carbon and I embarrassing ourselves on the track in that regard, but we're really looking forward to it.
I look forward to having my ass handed to me by the banker in a week's time. So it's it's going to be entertaining viewing.
Might have been a once-off.
No, I have my doubts on that, but it's going to be entertaining viewing no matter which way you look at it. So please tune in and join us again next Sunday, same time, same YouTube channel. I look forward to the pleasure of your company. I just won't be able to speak to you because I will be too busy racing. But it's always a pleasure having you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carbon. Everyone, we look forward to catching up with everyone next Sunday night. Good night and stay safe. Cheers, guys.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1. We are here tonight for some Category 1 racing action around All Saints Village.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool. I'm my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, oh. And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, only feels like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?